Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maria and I talk complex money on this channel, and for today we'll just be going over my thoughts all over consumerism, especially given the nature of the circumstances that I'm going through right now in terms of my finances, in terms of a whole bunch of different things, but I'll get into that in detail a little bit later. Yeah, if you're looking forward to the video, make sure to keep watching. What's up everyone? Like I said before, welcome back to my channel. And you guys are usually seeing these guys on the camera, but for today I was just gonna do a sit down little talking video. I don't have any like talking points per se, but it is something that I wanted to share with you guys since I did have a reflection based on some circumstances that I'm currently in. And so I wanted to kind of share with you guys something that was on my head and has been on my head for a while. I actually wanted to plan this video out for it to be a little bit more organized, but because I am not finding the time to really organize my thoughts, I hope that it's okay with you guys that I just share whatever's in my head and hopefully it comes out a little bit cohesive and everything makes sense. I'm really hoping that's the case. However, before we get started, if you are new here and you haven't done so already and you'd like to stay informed as to what I do on this YouTube channel, please make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. It'll really help the channel grow and it'll also make me happy, and who doesn't want to see both of those things? And if you are not new around here but for whatever reason you haven't subscribed, that's okay. I am forgetful also, and so this is your gentle reminder that if you keep coming back to watch my videos in general, I would appreciate your follow and your subscription as well. Make sure to leave me downstairs some comments that you may be curious about, whether on this topic or the topic I touch upon later on, or if you have any questions in regards to anything that I touch upon in my channel in general, by all means leave it downstairs in the comments, and if I know the answer or if I want to start a conversation or whatever, I'll be able to get back to you guys. So yeah, I wanted to kind of just reflect on, actually before we get started, I did want to mention shout out to my friend Natalie, who is on the Financial Talk. Her channel will be over here. I hope that you guys, if you guys are seeing me this way, is it this way? Is it this way? It's this way. If you guys are in the space of learning financial literacy or different aspects when it comes to being a newcomer to Canada, especially from Latin America, and you're trying to know the system in Canada in terms of finances, money, registered accounts, tax benefits, or whatever else, she's more qualified to speak about those things. And she's also a fellow Latina, so shout out to Latinas in the YouTube space, especially in the financial realm, because this is a hard topic that we don't see back home and in other countries as well. But in Latin America specifically, I know that even here in Canada, no financial literacy is directly taught. So imagine in those third or second world countries. And so yeah, go follow her there because she has a lot of informative videos about a variety of topics when it comes to finances. And so especially if you're a newcomer, that'll be your girl. So follow her, Natalie at the Financial Talk. And now we can get on started. My reflection that I wanted to share with you guys was about how consumerism and budgeting in general, how you move about your money and your finances, is a mindset more than anything else. They say that what you have up here is what manifests into the present, what you have in your affirmations and your routine, mentally speaking. That's what actually comes true into reality, whether it comes to your finances, to relationships, etc., etc. And so I just wanted to mention that specifically with consumerism, and I'll leave the definition somewhere up here. Consumerism specifically is a socio-cultural and economic phenomenon that is typical of industrialized societies. It is characterized by the continuous acquisition of goods and services in ever-increasing quantities. In contemporary consumer society, the purchase and the consumption of products that evolved beyond the mere satisfaction of basic human needs, transforming into an activity that is not only economic but also cultural, social, and even identity forming. I feel like that definition is exactly what I want to talk about today. Consumerism in general, it's the consuming of goods even when there's no need to, or need for the item, or need for the service, or whatever. And I just wanted to share specifically with the circumstance that I'm going through right now, which, not to get into details or anything, that'll be for a different video, but as of right now I don't have any credit cards, and so the money that I spend, hence you guys would have seen a lot more cash stuffing videos, more frequent and such, and with higher quantities. That's the reason why I have been doing more cash stuffing and stuff like that, because I currently don't have any credit cards, and so the money that I can spend is literally just my own, whether cash, whether a debit card, savings that I have here at home with cash or whatever. That's literally all I can spend. Yet, because of the consumer mindset that I've had ever since I, began working, which is, you get goods from somewhere, whether a service, an actual physical product, or whatever, you purchase it, and then especially if it's on a credit card, you pay it off later, but that's money that you can use right away, given that you paid off to the bank at some point, because it's not your money, it's their money. And lately, I've been in this funk where not only am I actually wanting to consume more because I haven't had the liberty to do so because I don't have credit cards, like I'm restricted by literally the fact that if I only have $200 in my bank account until next payday, I literally don't have anything else that I can spend from. So I feel not only restricted, and therefore I feel like, oh, I haven't spent in a while, I want to spend. I just consume a whole bunch of ideas in my head. Even for example, for my cash stuffing setup, I'm always thinking okay, well, what else can I get for my setup? Because it's kind of like a scarcity mindset, since I don't have the money that can be lent to me from a creditor, such as a credit card, a loan, or whatever it is. is, because I don't have that liberty anymore, I feel more confined, and therefore my urges that would have naturally been resolved a long time ago when I did have credit cards. Okay, I have an urge to buy something, I can just tap it, but if I don't want it, because I realize that I'm not restricted, I don't have to tap. I don't have to order online or whatever it is. But now that I have that restriction, I kind of feel like this urge of like, I need to spend more. So that's reflection number one. But number two, it's so funny how like this mindset of consumerism gets the best of us, because it's just been ingrained into our heads that being in debt in this society is actually okay. People say that being in debt is not okay in terms of like having bad debt, but you're really nobody, as Natalie mentions in her channel, you're really nobody when it comes to the financial world if you have no credit score. If you don't have credit history, you can't do anything. And so the system itself, I think, is really made to make people in debt, and not necessarily in good debt, like buying a house. In debt as in like, you can consume this right now and pay it off at some point, whether that's far away, that's your decision and we'll charge you interest, or whether that's short term and we'll still charge you a little bit of interest, or no interest at all, but you have the safety net of like, you can always spend because we're lending you money. Especially if you used to have like good credit score like me. I don't know how it is in the States, but here in Canada, your credit score ranges from 300 to 900, 900 being the highest. And at one point I had like 860. And now, I'm not gonna share my credit score, although it's not indicative of who I am as a person, but it is significantly lower. And because of that, even if I wanted to, just to scratch the itch of being able to use a credit card, I can't even apply for a credit card, because one, is gonna dink my credit score even more because I'm constantly applying to the credit cards or whatever, which I don't want. But second, I'm not gonna be approved anyways, so why bother? That being said, it's been so testing on my patience in the past like 2 months almost by the time you guys see this, because I have no credit cards, and so I cannot consume of things or get things that I need. Even I can only get the stuff that I like really truly need by the basics. So for example, even let's say that I need something at the grocery store, I literally have to wait until payday to be able to do that. And this is not to like say that I'm not doing okay in like a financial perspective. I still have my job, I still, you know, get good paying money or whatever, but I just have to be more strategic, because let's say that I get paid X amount of money, that's X amount of money that I have to spend or to save or whatever it is, but I cannot go past that money. So for example, how it was before, let's say that I needed groceries with a credit card that is being lent to you by the bank. Obviously, because it's not your money, they can lend it to you as long as you pay it back. But let's say that I needed to go to the grocery store and I just needed like tomatoes, mayonnaise, bread, eggs, and like just the basic stuff. Let's say that that would have been a total of $50. But because with a credit card, that's not my money, I'm able to like, okay, well, I don't need these chocolate chip cookies as a little treat for myself, but because there is that safety net of the fact that I have money that's not mine, as long as I pay it off later, I can get the cookies, or I can get this for my kids, or I can get this and that. Now I have to like really be strategic of like, hey, like the other day I literally went to the grocery store and we were over by like $5, and I had to take stuff out of the bags and put it back on the conveyor belt for the lady to scan out of my receipt in order for me to be able to pay for the groceries, because I literally did not have anything else. And yeah, sure, that's for somebody who doesn't care about how they look in public. Like I personally didn't care. So like if people have to wait because I need to like scan out stuff from my order for me to be able to purchase for the stuff that I actually do need, it is what. And I just realized we have something going on in the background. My apologies. This is actually Boop and Budget. I recently ran into her channel and we became talking buddies here on the internet space. So I'm actually just watching her from my other YouTube account. That way I can up her watch hours. So that's that. LOL. So yeah, I don't mind exactly how I look in public, and if people have to wait or if they want to go to another aisle to get checked out faster or whatever it is, that's at the end of the day, I have to be happy with my purchase. I wouldn't be able to make, like for example, let's say my groceries that day were $155 and I could only afford $150. Well, hey, take out the money, because I don't have the extra $5 to pay. So unless you want to donate something to me, it is what it is. But from a consumer perspective, just reflecting on all of this, it's so funny how the system is just made to make people be in debt. And even to the point where, I don't know about other stores, but I specifically always go to Walmart for a majority of my groceries just because they have everything. And Walmart, including in their little like machine to tap, it says, oh, don't have the money now? That's okay. Use Klarna for 4 easy payments of whatever. And it's funny because it resolves the issues. Like if you don't have the money now, that's fine, as long as you have the money in the expansion time that they allot to you. So you pay that date, and then 2 weeks after you pay the second installment, 2 weeks after that, so that would be 4 weeks in total, and then the last installment would be 6 weeks later. But the problem is, and I spoke about this with a friend of mine, the reason why they have those systems in place is because people are struggling to pay for their stuff. And so yeah, if you have, I don't know, a $120 grocery order and you only have $40 on you at the moment, yeah, be okay in peace of mind that you can just pay the $40 or the $30 or whatever the installment plan is for that number, because the rest you can pay later. And that, unfortunately, it creates a system in our heads and a mentality of like, okay, well, I can get the stuff that I want right now, not necessarily need, and then I can pay for it as time goes. And imagine if you do that 4 times. At some point, even though you're paying later, you're gonna be at a point eventually that you cannot pay pay anymore because you run out of funds. And so I really hope that this is all making sense, because that's the reflection that I've had in the past 2 months, but specifically in the last like week and a half. I don't know if it's, like I said, like the scarcity mindset kicking in about the fact that like I have to wait until next payday. Again, I'm like itching. I want to scratch the itch of the fact that I can't buy these things because I'm restricted on my money. Or for example, even like my Herbalife products. I've run out of my Herbalife products. I currently do not have a credit card that I can use to even get the supplements that I typically take. And so it's kind of like, I've run into the routine where I'm like looking to see where in my funds, whether my cash funds or in my cash accounts online, I'm looking to see where I can move money in order to get the stuff that I need / want. And precisely that's not the point of saving. The point of saving is for you to keep it in place, whether it's a cash binder or in a safe or an online portal where you keep all your savings accounts like separate from each other or all lumped together, whatever. The point is not to touch that stuff, because that's meant for either an emergency or a sinking fund, which you are saving up for example, Christmas. That only happens once a year. You're saving up for the expenses that are happening at that time. The point is not for you to take money out for you to then spend it, and then you're taking your savings out, and therefore you have no more savings, or you're starting from zero in the future. So I've definitely been taught a lot in this reflection time in the past couple of weeks. I'm definitely trying to be more mindful of the fact that like I really categorizing things in wants versus needs. And also, it's not a necessity to me to have XYZ. I just need God, oxygen, food, shelter, and clothes, and that's it. Even like family members and community, that could be considered like obviously a necessitated want, but if I don't have it, I can survive in life without those things. If you think from an evolutionary perspective, we just needed like those necessities like clothes, we need shelter, we need food, and that's it. And obviously God first. But in terms of like the tangible things here in life, those are the things that we need. Testing. I hope you guys can hear me. So what I mean to say here, and I realize that maybe in the time crunch it didn't explain properly, I'm talking about the tangible things that you need for your body to actually survive. You, of course, need community because we are social beings, but in terms of like, if you have no oxygen, you're dead. If you have no food, you're dead. If you have no water, you're dead. If you have no clothes and protection from the elements, you're dead because you died of too much hot. You died of too much heat. You died of the cold. Something bit you and you didn't have, you know what I mean? So that's what I mean. Obviously, as social beings, we need community, but in terms of like actual physical survival, that's that. We'll go insane, but we'll be alive. Everything else is not a must. And so I've been really struck with like really thinking of like, okay, you need to work on your patience. You need to work on like really honing in on that instant gratification and like suppressing it, because you don't need these like pretty binders or bookmarks for the binders, or you don't need these clothes right now, or you don't, you know what I mean? Or even if you go to the grocery store, let's say that I was buying like 8 cans of tuna before, I don't need 8 cans of tuna. If I can only afford the 6, let me just do the 6, you know what I'm saying? That's basically it that I want to share with you guys. I don't know if anybody else has been in a similar situation, or if you've ever thought of this. I hope that even if you're not in the situation that I'm currently in, which again, I'm not going to get into details, just know it's not a fun place to be in. It's also not a fun reflection necessarily, because although reflections are not meant to be fun, it's just meant for you to reflect and learn something from it. But I do hope that if it's not something that you're going through, I hope that you don't go through it. I hope that you always have the means of paying for your stuff and paying off credit cards if you do choose to use that type of means, because it is meant to be a tool to be used. It's just not meant to be abused. But it is something that I wanted to share for you to think about as well. I hope that, you know, this opinion came from a place of wanting to teach somebody something that I went through and that I'm currently going through and that I'm reflecting on, to serve as a teaching point for somebody else. This is definitely not the video of like nagging against credit cards. I personally love the idea of credit cards. You build your credit, you can consume certain things over others because you're able to obviously have more money available to you. I don't necessarily love the system of just having cash or just having debit cards, because you miss out on a whole bunch of perks that credit cards offer, and that's how they get you in. As long as you're not abusing the system, you teach yourself and get educated on the system and the different ways that you can use the system to your favor, not against you, is definitely something to think about, especially if you're on the younger side, that you just started getting a job and you just started your credit history building because you just recently got a job, so you probably were able to apply for a credit card or whatever it is, or even like a phone, and you need like your credit history to even apply for a phone. That's basically it. Sorry if this was a little bit unorganized or disorganized, whatever the word is, but I really did try to like mentally pace myself out so I would be able to give you guys a good explanation of what was going in my head, and also in like formatted points. That way I wouldn't be like all over the place and like concluding with the ending at the beginning and the beginning at the end. You know what I mean? No, thank you. So anyways, that's it for this video today. I hope that you guys liked my face for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing a different side of me, not just my hands this time around. I hope that you guys enjoyed my face and my personality and like just, you know, the face to the name. I hope that you guys enjoy this type of video, and if you you do have any questions, by all means, if I didn't explain something properly or if you would like some more clarification as to what I said, definitely let me know downstairs in the comments. I will try to my best to explain myself properly again, should I have failed to do so the first time. If you guys have any topics that you want to see from me in the future, by all means, also leave them downstairs in the comments. And besides that, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you guys really enjoyed it or got something out of it. I really hope that it did benefit the listener at the other side of the screen. Share it with a friend, share it with a family member, share it with whoever you may think would benefit from this, especially if you have like young kids who don't know about credit. I'm not a financial advisor by any means, but it's just something that I've learned across the years, especially in the past 2 months and specifically more strongly in the past like 3 or 4 weeks. But yeah, I hope that this is a benefit to whoever listens to this. Share it with a friend or a family member. And besides that, if you guys do like my personality, if you guys do like my voice, if you like whatever it is about this channel, including topics that I touch upon, definitely leave me your thumbs up downstairs. And also, if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. It's free to do so. It makes me happy and it also helps the channel grow, and that's what I want to see. Thank you so much for the almost 60 subscribers that I have. In the past week, I've gained like 4 or 5 subscribers, so yay, on our road to 100. I'm thinking about like maybe doing something for my 100 subscribers milestone. That is if I do end up hitting that at some point. But with that, I also should remind you guys that I do have a original channel. I say original because it's been on YouTube for longer. It's been around for like 11 years, more than that actually. And so I wanted to just share with you guys, if you guys are not aware, I do have a, like I said, my original channel that I've had for longer than this channel. This one started in 2025, but my other channel started when I was a teenager. And so if you guys want to see other aspects of my personality or of my life, I definitely encourage you guys to subscribe to that channel. I'll just leave it somewhere here on the iCard. The name of the channel, it's withdrawals, and the name of the channel is It's Maria Vix, or Maria Vix if you want to say it in English. Yeah, just wanted to throw that out there in case you guys want to support me there. I'm almost at 400 subscribers, like I said, and so it would really make me happy if you guys want to go over there, subscribe, run my playlist as well, so you guys are in tune as to what I do over there. And it also helps my watch hours, which obviously every YouTube creator does at some point want to be monetized, so that'd be fun. But if not, that's okay. As long as I share my life with you guys and you guys are down for the ride, I'm more than happy to do so. And so yeah, with that, I will leave you guys off with the verse of the day as I typically do. I would do this at the end of the video because I just feel like it'll bless somebody in whatever position in life that you're at. God will reach you in whatever way it is that he is trying to speak to you in this way. And with that, I will just leave the verse of the day right over here. I hope that this reaches you in whatever position you are in life and whatever circumstance you may be in whatever life path you may be on. I hope that this reconnects you with your faith with Jesus. If you don't know Jesus, I hope that this does connect you with him. It gives you curiosity to find out what he did, who he is, and why he's coming back and why he did what he did. I hope that it touches you in whatever way it is that Jesus is trying to speak to you through. I hope that this blesses you in whatever way it is that it's necessary for your life. And I'll just leave it at that. Thanks so much for watching the video once again. I hope that you guys stay blessed. And until the next time, God bless you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.